in San Diego for the launch of Ducati's XDiavel. Now we've ridden it for most of the day and we're just up here in the mountains outside of San Diego. Now this is Ducati's attempt at a feet-forward cruiser. It's got belt drive with a carbon weave in it because the thing makes so much power, so it makes the belt stronger. It's got a feet-forward riding position, which feels really weird at first because you're used to getting on a Ducati and putting your feet in a sporty riding position. This is actually adjustable in a load of different ways, so you can set the thing up with different height handlebars, different foot peg positions, and kind of get it tailored to you like a tailored suit, I suppose. Now look, it's one of the coolest looking bikes on the road, I think, personally, especially in the more expensive S version, where you've got the bling wheels, the brushed aluminium swing arm, the glossy black paint, the glossy black engine. But look, it hardly looks poor in the cheaper XDiavel standard bike. Personally, I think everyone who buys one of these is going to spend a bit extra and buy the XDiavel S. Now to ride, the bike handles way better than you think a cruiser ever should. It's got a 240 section rear tyre, which when you are in town you can feel it kind of pulling the bike a bit, but as soon as you get out of town, get it on the twisty roads, this handles way better than any cruiser that you might come to think of, like a V-Rod, something like that for instance. So on the S version you get the fantastic Brembo M50 calipers. They're the same sort of brake that is on the 1299 Panigale, and you rarely ask for more brakes than this. That engine is unlike any Ducati you will have ever tried before. It's incredibly explosive at really low revs. Now the engineers say it was a real test for them to build something that wasn't really high revving, but this bike makes maximum torque at 5,000 RPM. And what you end up doing is riding along Canyon Road like we've just been doing here, and using sort of 3,000–4,000 RPM rather than 6, 7, 8 like you could do if you're on something even more sporty than this. But it's right in that mid-range where this bike really makes sense. Now look, it's a big deal for Ducati to make something as cruiser based as this. The Diavel was the kind of early stepping point for it that kind of paved the way for them to do something different, and I think we can expect to see this engine in future models later on. In fact, one of the engineers actually told me that last night, but he wouldn't tell me which ones. But I think as an example of what Ducati's engineers can do and their first real attempt at something with feet forward riding position, it's a staggeringly good motorcycle, and not only that, it's way more than a cruiser. You can ride it on twisty roads, it's fast enough to have fun on, so it really is a kind of flexible bike as well. Good job, Ducati.